First of all, a quick introduction. My name's John, so I'm the managing director and founder at Rabbit and Pork. And we've got Rick. Quick introduction, Rick.
Um, hey, I'm Rick. I'm a developer at Rabbit Pork.
Sorted, nice and sweet and short. So yeah, we're here today to talk about how we've used Sanity to power Alexa smart properties. So a bit of a different use case, but obviously it's a really good example of why headless CMSs are great. And we're just going to go through a little kind of example of three projects where we've worked on this. So first of all, a little bit about us as a group, Rabbit and Pork. Part of the TP group, where we have two different agencies, Roast and Kitty. Originally, we started building Alexa skills and Google Actions for consumers to use at home. And then more recently, Amazon invited us to be one of their solution providers. So the ability to install Alexas in care homes, in sports stadiums, and in hotels. So we've used Sanity for that project, but we'll also, within the group, Kitty, our sister agency, have been recently using Sanity as part of a development for One Rebel, where it's kind of being used for the website and also used for the app. But the case study we're going to go through today is slightly different, is as Alexa. So everybody knows what Alexa is, but smart properties is slightly different. It came about as hotel owners started to install Alexas into hotels and soon kind of realized that, that had some privacy issues. You'd had to do it on your Amazon account. All the voice recordings would go through to one account, but also it doesn't really have the full functionality. So if you're in a room and you ask for water, Alexa would try and buy some water via Amazon.com. So essentially, smart properties allows us to have a fleet solution to deploy devices without Amazon accounts, privacy at the core, but then also take over voice commands so that we can route them through to different third-party services such as Sanity or CMS, or through to like room booking or food ordering. So the features we think about are some of the ones that you know already from at home, like playing music or asking questions or setting alarms. But what you'll also see is there's kind of smart homes, bookable services, notifications, but quite a lot of content heavy stuff. So hospitalities and menus, what time of facilities open, answers to kind of common questions. So we've got to store all this information somewhere. And also, despite Alexa being very much for voice first, there is a visual element. Pretty much all the deployments we've done have got a screen device, and so on that screen device on an Echo Show, we need to put graphics. We need text. Sometimes the text is different to the text that's said out loud, and so therefore there's a requirement to store this somewhere. So requirements for a CMS is it's got to be flexible to host images, audio files, videos, and all lots of different structures. We need the ability to have an API or webhook to retrieve that information and to do other things, which we'll talk about later. And then we also, the way that we worked on this project is that every hotel is different. Really annoying. It'd be great if they're all the same, but they all use different systems. They all have different setups, different facilities. So we've gone for a solution where we've built, a core product, and then we can lift it and shift it and deploy it for a different hotel and slightly change it to their needs. And then we need a secure login, web-based, easy for the user to go in and change something. So we came across Sanity because there was an integration already there. So shout out to Mark Tucker, who part of the Alexa community, an Alexa champion like myself, and he built the integration with Jovo, and Jovo is a development framework for conversational platforms such as Alexa. So some of the work was done for us, and then we knew from the work from Kitty that Sanity was a great option. And then as we built our first deployment, we realized this was going to be able to scale, and it was able to help us. So system architecture overview. So slightly different to your normal kind of front end. Our front end is the user and the Echo device. So a request goes in for a user, and I'll say, what times is the swimming pool open? That goes to our custom Alexa skill, which is higher priority over normal Alexa skills. In the cloud, we have a set of Lambda functions, which is running Jovo. And from there, it will then send a request over to the PMS system. So maybe to get your room balance, or maybe you're requesting an item and we'll send it to a room item request system. Something like what time's the swimming pool open, it goes over to Sanity, looks into the content lakes, finds out the particular facility, pulls back the information, packages it all up, and then sends it back to Alexa. Some other things that happen with this system, we've got phone calling, we've got room creation, and we've got analytics and reporting. It's quite a simple system overall, but key to it is having that content in a CMS that we can easily change. So let's have a look at an example. So same way you think about websites, you kind of got pages, you've got services, we've got rooms, we've got devices, phone books, facilities, items, FAQs, and we've also got broadcasts, which we'll talk about a little later on. So here we've got the one for Harlequins, which is in the sports stadium at the rugby ground. And so here, if a user was in one of the commercial boxes and they want to find out, well, where's the players' lounge? We have a facility. In that facility, we have lots of different information about the name, synonyms, descriptions, images, etc. And so we can see it's quite easy to load up this here in Sanity. We've got what three words because we have that, and we've got quite a large rugby ground. We've then also got floors, what type of bar it is. So if somebody asks a more generic question, such as like, when's the bar or where's the nearest bar, we can query the system slightly differently. It's the next slide. And yeah, so we've got our front end here, and so this is where the graphics are then created. So Alexa uses something known as Alexa Presentation Language, APL. And so then this is where we'll supplement what Alexa's saying out loud with some visuals. And quite often this is slightly different. And we're able to customize this for each brand according to their colors, etc. And so I'll just hand over to Rick now, who's going to talk about messaging on Alexa.
Hey guys, so currently there are 3 different types of notifications that can be sent to guest devices. On the screen, the announcement, notification, and PVA, persistent visual alert, which is what I'm going to talk about today because it's the most customizable, I guess. So it's more interesting to talk about. Do you want to play the video, John? Yeah, so these are all the fields that you can control. And on the left there is well, that's the result of that document there. So 2 things. We need to ensure that the data meets the API requirements. And secondly, we're having readability issues, so wanted to prevent that as well. So I'm going to go through each of the fields. So text fields, pretty basic. Each text field has their own character limit. So we have the rule maximization there. Primary text is the only one that's required to create a PVA. So we have both the rules there. Background image is a bit more interesting. It's a reference because we found that we wanted to have like a list of tested images because we were having issues with lighter colored images and the white text. We were having readability issues. So this way we can give the user like a drop down of approved images, but they can also upload their own if they want to. Same with reference, same with rooms. User can select from a drop down of rooms and send it away. Color overlay, this one's a bit more simple, but when true, it applies a scrim to the background image to make it easier to read the text. Just thought it was nice that we could set an initial value because there's already a lot of fields. So if you can take that, if you can make it easier for the user, it's good. And dismissal time, which is when the PVA expires, if the guest hasn't dismissed it manually. We're using the datetime type, which is just great to have a fully functional datetime picker without any extra customization, which is great. So yeah, the webhook, it triggers on creation of a new document or an update on an existing document. We have the projection there with the dereferencing operator for background image and room. So how it works is the request is sent to an API gateway, which triggers our lambda function, which is where the API call is handled. The response can also be viewed in Sanity in the attempt log. And can't see the bottom there. So yeah, we've utilized schedule publishing. I think most recently it was for New Year's Eve because neither John or I were working. So
Yeah. So the idea is that these are particular like cards that we want to send on a particular day. So Happy New Year, or it might be that we know that something's going to be broken in the hotel, and so by having that scheduling system means that we can get this already, schedule it out, and then when it gets published, it then gets sent to all the devices. Um, so yeah, we're currently using this at a few different hotels. So Warner, if you're not aware of Warner, Warner's got about 15 hotels here in the UK. You go there and you spend a lot of your time in your room and in the actual, not in the room, but like in the venue because the activities are including your breakfast, your evening meal, your entertainment. And so what we've seen there is that we've got one hotel where it's in every single room. They took about out all the phones as part of the refurbished, and we're seeing people really kind of using it for room balance, finding out their itinerary for a day, booking activities, and item requests. Most popular things, so British, it's tea, milk, and towels. So that's the most things people are requesting to the room. And interestingly, this is a demographic on average, maybe 60, 70 kind of. So they're kind of users that won't want to use an app or download an app or having to log into it. So having something in the room that's ready and set up it is great for them. And then at Harlequins, we've got TV control, so you can do TV off, TV on. We've got an integration with Opta so for statistics to get player statistics and what the lineups are. And then we've got a staff request which is hacked together to send messages into WhatsApp. So yeah, if somebody needs some more Guinnesses in their room, they can say, Alexa, I need some more Guinness, and then it sends it to a WhatsApp group, and then the staff can go forward and make that order. Yeah, so there's lots of future opportunities with Sanity. So one, you probably saw there, we just had a static image of the preview of that card, which is going to be sent to the user. So ideally, what we could do is, create a little preview in with the preview system, and then the user can see how it is, type it out, change it. Oh, it doesn't quite read right over those two different lines before they send it. Audio preview, we can have a little play button, so it then sends it over to the speech to text system, so you can listen back. It's important to hear something rather than and then just have it typed out. At the moment, we've got different studios for those two different Alexa properties with Warner. So we might have like one studio and then have Warner, which has multiple properties. Our target audience has multiple, our target client has multiple properties. So ideally, that's something we look towards. We've also got loads of information and booking. We could easily make a PWA, a website, or other conversational platforms we could deploy to. And then coming in the future, you may have heard about Alexa Plus. This is Alexa powered by an LLM, of course, Claude. So they're going to rebuild the whole Alexa skill system. So we're really interested to see how that works. Is it the case that we're going to hold our prompts in Sanity that then get sent to the Alexa Plus system? So yeah, that's a kind of a quick overview of how I've been using Sanity, and hopefully this is a really good use case to show that the CMSs could be used for something different. Yeah, hopefully that was quite interesting and a little bit different to normal.